Anxiety gets in our way more than anything. We'll get into some self-care strategies for anxiety today and give you some practical solutions. Here today to share with you some self-care strategies for anxiety. Let's jump right in. There are two components of anxiety. Both of these are extremely important to understand. There is a brain component and there is a mind component. Your brain and your mind are not the same thing. Your brain is not your mind any more than your toe is your mind. It's part of your body. It's an organ in your head. It operates on physiological and neurophysiological principles. We have to feed it, we have to nourish it, we have to exercise it just like any other part of your body. Let's be clear about that. There's a brain component. Now your mind is you. It's the you inside of there, okay? It's the agent inside of the machine. It's the observer. It's the decision maker. And that's you, okay? So you might think of it as your soul or your spirit, the true you inside of there. And you got a body which has a brain, but you're not your body. You're inside of there, okay? Brain, mind. What is the brain side of anxiety? It's all about our natural fight or flight response. There are different parts of your brain that do different things. One of those parts of your brain is responsible for keeping you safe. And that part of your brain reacts to any perception of threat. Threat is anything that challenges you or makes you potentially in danger, right? So what if we're both out here just hiking through the Utah foothills outside of my office here, and we encounter a big old angry bear. Roar! Comes out from behind a tree, wants to rip your face off. How would you feel? What would happen to your heart? It would start beating really hard and fast, right? Normally you can't even feel your heart. Well, now you can because it's pounding away. Your breathing gets shallow and fast, right? Do you notice that? You feel kind of woozy, a little bit of surge of different things. You might lose it out one end or the other or both. Yeah, this happens because your body, starting with your brain, is reacting to the threat of the bear in this case. And it could be anything. This is good news, folks. Yeah, because your brain loves you, does not want you to be lunch. Bear chow, not a good option for us today. So your mind loving you kicks you into what we call fight or flight response. The fight or flight response is a chemical response to the perceived threat. Your brain, specifically the limbic system of your brain, including the amygdala and some other structures, sends a signal through your brain stem into your spinal cord down to different glands in your body. Some of them are up in your brain area. These different glands just create and store chemicals, like your adrenal gland, for example, right above your pancreas, creates and stores adrenaline. Just holds it there for you, just in case you want it. Made this for you. And when it gets the signal from your brain that there's a threat, oh, it's time, squirt. And it squirts it right into your bloodstream. It's a direct injection of a chemical. There's adrenaline, there's cortisol, there's others. We won't get into all of those. Just understand that you got chemicals in your bloodstream now. Those chemicals go to every organ in your body. When they hit your heart, cause it to speed up and beat hard and fast. Just like we talked about before, all those feelings that you have. Chemicals. Takes a little while for chemicals to run through your system, for your body to metabolize those and flush them out of your system. So once the chemicals are in there, it's going to take a minute. In fact, one of the things that I like to tell my clients is don't respond until the adrenaline is gone. Yeah, give it some time to flush on through before you make any hard decisions, because when this happens, when the limbic system in your brain is active, we've actually got brain scan studies that prove that there's a decrease in blood flow to the prefrontal part of your brain. This prefrontal cortex is all about logic and problem solving and reason, rational thought. Okay, all of that's happening up here. Also fun things like compassion and empathy and some of that. We got to have that part of our brain to solve some of the problems. So anxiety, we're talking about self-care strategies for anxiety today. You have to understand that anxiety is associated with your body's fight or flight response. That is the brain component here. And it can become habitual. You probably noticed that things that you practice a lot get easier for you. What if you've been practicing having a fight or flight response to things that aren't even really a threat? Notice this. Your limbic system is in a primitive part of your brain. It doesn't do any thinking. That's for up here. Because of that, it can't discern, and quite frankly, it doesn't care. It can't discern between a threat that is real and a threat that is perceived. It's all the same thing to your limbic system. That's why you get all fired up in a movie. You're sitting in a movie. It's getting a little intense. What do you find your heart doing? You see, we're getting into that fight or flight response. When's the last time you got up screaming out of a movie theater? You don't, because your thinker interferes and says, whoa, hey, you're in a movie, you haven't finished your popcorn, chill for a minute. I'm glad we can do what I call the cognitive override. But just notice that your brain can't discern between a real threat and a perceived threat. So it's going to kick you into fight or flight if you feel threatened by your spouse, for example, or your child, or your boss. This is not a bear, folks. I ask in my seminars sometime, how many of you are married to a bear? Don't raise your hand for this, okay? This is somebody you love, but your limbic system doesn't know that, so it reacts as if that's a real threat, and then we're off to the races with the chemicals. So a couple of tips for you on the brain. These are the self-care strategies. Number 1, brain maintenance. I've gone over this in some other videos too, but the quick version, first, get enough sleep. Take care of your brain in that way. You need to have good sleep. Number 2, eat a balanced, nutritious diet. Number 3, get regular exercise. And there's different suggestions about how to do this. About 3 times a week, 30 minutes, good aerobic exercise seems to be a pretty consistent guideline. And number 4, regular periods of prayer and meditation. This is mindfulness, quieting all of the noise so that you can just connect with your purpose and your source. Those 4 steps, that came from Dr. Ed Hallowell at Harvard University. This is solid stuff that we're talking about. So tip number 1, strategy number 1 for self-care on anxiety, brain maintenance. Here's number 2. And you'll add this to the brain maintenance. Practice breathing. Practice breathing. Why do I need to practice, Doc? I do it all day, in and out, all day long. No, I'm talking about a specific focused kind of breathing that helps you to calm your limbic system response and redirect the blood flow back up front, which we're going to need for the mind part. So stay tuned. The breathing exercises, there's a lot of them out there. I simply recommend that you breathe in through your nose, overinflate the lungs a little bit, hold for maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and then nice and slow out through the mouth. Restrict the flow here so that you can take about twice as long to exhale as you did to inhale. Good breathing exercise, do 3 to 5 reps of that a couple of times a day for several days. You're going to feel different, and then that can become a tool for you. Take care of that brain. Now let's go to the mind part. What is the mind component of anxiety? It's basically encased in a subconscious question. Okay, subconscious, sub means below, like subway or submarine. Conscious means awareness. So this is often below your awareness. The question that we have problems with in the mind is, what if, in an anxious sort of way, what if this happens? What if that happens? Because the what if question creates a threat. And it's not so much the question, it's your subconscious answer to that question. Your subconscious can't go without an answer to the what if question, so it makes one up. And the one it makes up is, oh my gosh, that would be terrible, horrible. You can't handle that. Sound familiar? Yeah, this is happening in your subconscious. We know that it's happening because it manifests as anxiety. It triggers your brain into the fight or flight response. This is where the brain and the mind interact. Okay? So here's what we're going to do on the mind level. Couple of things. Tip number 1, answer the what if questions. Bring them up to the conscious mind. Answer them truthfully. What if? Okay, well, what if that thing happened? Here's the answer, folks. Quick version, you can handle that. Now, notice some resistance that you feel when I suggest that, because your what ifs are extraordinary. Your what ifs really are threatening. Your what ifs scare you to death. And that's because your subconscious is telling you you can't handle it. I'm here to tell you that you can. You don't even know that yet. I've learned this through 24 years of clinical practice. I've learned it through 52 years on this planet. I've been paying attention. There is nothing you can experience in this life that you can't handle. I'm not saying it would be pleasant. I'm not saying it would be painless. Some of those things are very unpleasant and painful. But I have talked to so many people who have endured the things that you could hardly even imagine, that I'm convinced that we can handle anything. What would happen to your fear and anxiety if you believed that? Play with that. We'll work it over in some other videos too. Get some coaching if you need to, because this is big. You've got some great tools. Now come back tomorrow. We'll share another video with you. You can come back every day. I know I'm going to.